Lots of you are wearing pink today, and that's great because... You ready? By wearing pink, you're showing your support that you want to end bullying and bullying behavior here at Bradford High School, and indeed everywhere. That's the goal for today. The Day of Pink was created when a young gay student in Nova Scotia went to school one day, and he decided he'd wear a pink shirt. And he was bullied. Two straight students saw this and went, wait a minute, that's not right. And they stepped in. They stepped up and they stepped in and they said, you know, stop that. But they thought, no, we want to do something more. So they bought pink t-shirts and they organized it. And a few days later, many people in the school were wearing pink shirts in support of that student, in support of the end of bullying, and in a show of solidarity for the school. Because they didn't want bullying in their school and they didn't want homophobic behavior. And out of that has grown the International Day of Pink. So this day is celebrated this week all the way across Canada and in many places around the world. And this morning, we hope that you will take a stand. If you notice, a lot of your teachers are wearing this shirt, and it asks this question: what will you do to stop bullying at BDHS? You know what the answer is? It's on the back. Be the best version of you. We are all individuals. We all have our different beliefs. We come from different places, different ethnic backgrounds. We were born in different places. We believe different things. We maybe believe in different religions. We love different people in different ways. But we're all individuals. We're all human. And we are all worthy of respect. And that's what today is about. Today you're going to hear from a few student groups who really truly believe this and walk the walk. They're doing their part to raise awareness of the power of the individual and the power of individuality. A wise person once said, our greatest fear is not that we are weak, but that we are powerful beyond belief. And like Superman says, with great power comes great responsibility. Oh, I said, you're right. It said Spider-Man. I said, Spider-Man, thank you. Spider-Man said that. Actually. So, we're going to show you a video today, and it is brought to you by the Social Justice League. And that's one of the groups that we're going to hear from later. So thank you very much.
When I was a kid, I used to think that pork chops and karate chops were the same thing. I thought they were both pork chops. And because my grandmother thought it was cute, and because they were my favorite, she let me keep doing it. Not really a big deal. One day, before I realized fat kids are not designed to climb trees, I fell out of a tree and bruised the right side of my body. I didn't want to tell my grandmother about it because I was scared I'd get in trouble for playing somewhere I shouldn't have been. A few days later, the gym teacher noticed the bruise and I got sent to the principal's office. From there, I was sent to another small room with a really nice lady who asked me all kinds of questions about my life at home. I saw no reason to lie. As far as I was concerned, life was pretty good. I told her whenever I'm sad, my grandmother gives me karate chops. This led to a full-scale investigation, and I was removed from the house for 3 days until they finally decided to ask how I got the bruises. News of this silly little story quickly spread through the school, and I earned my first nickname, Pork Chop. To this day, I hate pork chops. I'm not the only kid who grew up this way. Surrounded by people who used to say that rhyme about sticks and stones. As if broken bones hurt more than the names we got called, and we got called them all. So we grew up believing no one would ever fall in love with us. That we'd be lonely forever. That we'd we'd never meet someone to make us feel like the sun was something they built for us in their tool shed. So broken heartstrings bled the blues as we tried to empty ourselves so we would feel nothing. Don't tell me that hurts less than a broken bone. That an ingrown life is something surgeons can cut away, but there's no way for it to metastasize. It does. She was 8 years old. Our first day of grade 3 when she got called ugly. We both got moved to the back of class so we would stop getting bombarded by spitballs. But the school halls were a battleground where we found ourselves outnumbered day after wretched day. We used to stay inside for recess because outside was worse. Outside we'd have to rehearse running away or learn to stay still like statues, giving no clues that we were there in grade 5. They taped a sign to the front of her desk that read, "Beware of dog." To this day, despite a loving husband, she doesn't think she's beautiful because of a birthmark that takes up a little less than half her face. Kids used to say she looks like a wrong answer that someone tried to erase but couldn't quite get the job done. And they'll never understand that she's raising 2 kids whose definition of beauty begins with the word mom. Because they see her heart before they see her skin. Because she's only ever always been amazing. He was a broken branch grafted onto a different family tree. Adopted. Not because his parents opted for a different destiny. He was 3 when he became a mixed drink of 1 part left alone and 2 parts tragedy. Started therapy in 8th grade. Had a personality made up of tests and pills. Lived like the uphills were mountains and the downhills were cliffs. 4/5 suicidal, a tidal wave of antidepressants, and an adolescence being called pauper. 1 part because of the pills, 99 parts because of the cruelty. He tried to kill himself in grade 10 when a kid who could still go home to mom and dad had the audacity to tell him, "Get over it." As if depression is something that can be remedied by any of the contents found in a first aid kit. To this day, he's a stick of TNT lit from both ends. Could describe to in detail the way the sky bends in the moments before it's about to fall. And despite an army of friends who all call him an inspiration, he remains a conversation piece between people who can't understand. Sometimes being drug-free has less to do with addiction and more to do with sanity. We weren't the only kids who grew up this way. To this day, kids are still being called names. The classics were, "Hey stupid," "Hey spaz." Seems like every school has an arsenal of names getting updated every year. And if a kid breaks in a school and no one around chooses to hear, do they make a sound? Or they're just background noise from a soundtrack stuck on repeat when people say things like kids can be cruel. Every school was a big top circus tent, and the pecking order went from acrobats to lion tamers, from clowns to carnies. All of these miles ahead of who we were freaks. Lobster claw boys and bearded ladies. Oddities juggling depression and loneliness, playing solitaire, spinning the bottle, trying to kiss the wounded parts of ourselves and heal. But at night, while the others slept, we kept walking the tightrope. It was practice, and yes, some of us fell. But I want to tell them that all of this is just debris left over when we finally decide to smash all the things we thought we used to be. And if you can't see anything beautiful about yourself, get a better mirror. Look a little closer. Stare a little longer. Because there's something inside you that made you keep trying despite everyone who told you to quit. You built a cast around your broken heart inside of yourself. You decided they were wrong. Because maybe you didn't belong to a group or a clique. Maybe they decided to pick you last for basketball or everything. Maybe you used to bring bruises and broken teeth to show and tell but never told. Because how can you hold your ground if everyone around you wants to bury you beneath it? You have to believe that they were wrong. They have to be wrong. Why else would we still be here? We grew up learning to cheer on the underdog because we see ourselves in them. We stem from a root planted in the belief that we are not what we were called. We are not abandoned cars stalled out and sitting empty on some highway. And if in some way we are, don't worry. We only got out to walk and get gas. We are graduating members from the class of we made it. Not the faded echoes of voices crying out names will never hurt me. Of course, they did. But our lives will only ever always continue to be a balancing act that has less to do with pain and more to do with beauty.
So I'd like to ask everyone to stand up for a second. And now I'd ask you all to look left. And all to look right. And now I'd like to ask you to sit down. So this is just showing we're really all the same. Most of us can stand up, but all of us can look left, and we can all look right.
Hello, my name is Taylor Scott, and this is Emily Mays, and we're co-founders of the Social Justice League, and these are some members of the Social Justice League. If you can't see anything beautiful about yourself, get a better mirror. Look a little closer and stare a little longer, and remember that they were wrong.
Bullying is something that we've all maybe been a part of, or we know someone who's been bullied. Bullying should not be a part of our school life.
We of the Social Justice League are dedicated to taking a stand against injustice in our school environment, local life, and international world, and we consider bullying a social injustice.
The Social Justice League is Bradford High's newest group. We are dedicated to educating students about social injustices throughout the world and helping in small ways that we can globally and locally.
We meet every Thursday in room 215 at lunch, and all are welcome to join. We have a couple of upcoming events to which everyone is invited to. On May 11th, we will be participating in the Save the Mothers Walk, Steps to Deliver Change. And pledge forms will be handed out the weeks before in the foyer.
Save the Mothers is a non-government organization that helps mothers in developing countries. In the 21st century, pregnancy and childbirth killed more than tuberculosis,
Suicide,
traffic accidents,
and AIDS combined.
We want to help stop this global injustice.
Thank you, everyone. And remember, Social Justice League, room 215 at lunch on Thursdays. See you there.